Have you ever been in a relationship where you gave your all, yet deep down, you felt it had no future? Most people immediately ask, should I stay or should I leave? But the very act of asking shows we are already trapped by uncertainty, fear, and emotions. Emotions change every second, and society adds endless variables: family, friends, work, cultural expectations. What if, instead of getting lost in chaos, we could analyze this as a system? What if we could map all possibilities and make deliberate choices by using systems thinking? What if I told you, love can actually be simplified into a formula? Love value equals needs met, multiplied by possibilities explored, divided by self-control. Let's break it down. Needs met. At the core, a relationship has value if it meets your essential needs, whether that's emotional support, security, or growth. If your needs aren't met, the value of that relationship decreases. Possibilities explored. Beyond the basics, a strong relationship also gives you possibilities. New experiences, shared dreams, and opportunities to become a better version of yourself. Love isn't just about the present. It's also about the future you're able to build together. Self-control. But here's the catch. Even if needs are met and possibilities exist, without self-control, emotions can turn destructive. Jealousy, anger, and impulsive reactions often consume more than they create. The more you can regulate yourself, the greater the value of the relationship. So instead of seeing love as pure chaos, this formula turns uncertainty into something you can actually analyze and maybe even improve. Let's start with needs. The value of love isn't in its outcome, but in whether it serves your current stage. Firstly, let's see some tips. Focus on sparks and self-identity rather than on long-term stability. At this stage, love feels like discovery, not a contract. Protect the space to experiment, to feel, and to learn who you are through your relationships. Don't rush into responsibility. What matters most is how relationships help you understand yourself. Start with brainstorming. Think of quick, vivid keywords that capture this moment. Crush, first love, excitement, curiosity, peer recognition, and self-image. Ask yourself, what situations make me feel most alive? Which interactions teach me something about who I am? Write down the small moments: a shared laugh, an awkward confession, the way your heartbeat changes, because these are the raw data of identity. What is need at this stage? At this stage, the core needs can be described as a combination of recognition, emotional spark, and identity exploration. Recognition means being seen and validated for who you are. Emotional spark means the thrill that makes you notice someone. Identity exploration means using relationships as mirrors to learn your values and preferences. Together, these three needs shape what love looks like in this phase. Why? Before 18, your brain and social world are still forming. Relationships act like experiments. They help you try on different selves and measure what fits. This is why stability is less relevant. You are collecting information, not building a final structure. If you treat every young romance as a test, you reduce pressure. The point is to learn, not to decide forever. In your 20s, the priority shifts from sparks to shared growth. Look for partners who are both companions and co-builders. Balance freedom and commitment. Allow experimentation while testing whether someone reliably shows up for you. Start with brainstorming. Use concrete keywords: partnership, ambition, mutual support, shared projects, exploration space, boundaries, developmental alignment. Ask, do we make each other better? Do we support each other's risks? Is there room for each of us to fail and learn? At this stage, needs can be described as companionship, emotional and logistical support, and space for exploration. These three needs operate together. A partner who offers support but constrains your exploration will not satisfy the full equation for a thriving 20-something relationship. After 30, focus on stability and shared responsibility. Prioritize partners whose life plans, financial habits, and emotional reliability align with yours. Love increasingly ties into decisions about home, career trade-offs, and possible family commitments. Start with brainstorming. Use the words that matter now: family, home, stability, long-term planning, legacy, resource allocation, shared values. Ask, do our timelines match? Can we negotiate responsibilities without resentment? What do we want 5 or 10 years from now? At this stage, needs can be described as stability, shared responsibility, and a common long-term vision. After 30, many personal variables have hardened. Careers are more established, social circles become denser, and responsibilities accumulate. Systems thinking doesn't predict the future. It lays out all possible outcomes, like a probability map. Most people get anxious because they want a simple yes or no answer. Will we end up together or not? But life doesn't work like a coin toss. It's not 50-50. It's a distribution of possibilities. Take long-distance love, for example. Imagine we assign probabilities. One moves and they get married. Communication fades. Love cools. Family or career pressure breaks them up. Neither mentions the future. The relationship drags in limbo. The sum of all outcomes is always one, because life must go somewhere. But notice, anxiety doesn't come from the outcome itself, but from resisting this map of possibilities. Systems thinking says, don't demand certainty. Instead, spread out the paths in front of you. When you see the whole field, you stop obsessing over one single branch. Once you lay them out, you can calmly ask, which are positive? Which are negative? Which are neutral? That's the wisdom of statistics. In uncertainty, don't calculate exact weights. Just count. If positives outweigh negatives, continue. If not, step back. If positives outweigh negatives, continue. If not, let go. The third dimension of the love value formula is self-control. Think of it like your phone's battery. If you use it recklessly, endless scrolling, too many apps open at once, gaming until 2 a.m., your battery dies when you actually need it. Relationships are the same. If you give in to every flicker of emotion, firing off that angry text the moment irritation flares, obsessively replaying worst-case scenarios in your mind until your stomach knots, or demanding answers in the heat of a confrontation, you end up pouring your energy into countless small fires. Each impulsive reaction chips away at your emotional reserves, leaving you exhausted, scattered, and unprepared for the moments that truly matter. By constantly reacting, instead of pausing and choosing where to invest your attention, you dilute the impact of your energy, making it harder to respond with clarity, patience, or strength when it counts most. But with self-control, you manage your charge. You put the phone down for a while, let it recharge. You close the apps you don't need. In love, that means pause before reacting, breathe before speaking, give space before demanding. Self-control doesn't mean you never use the battery. It means you use it wisely, so you're fully powered when it matters most in the conversations and moments that define your relationship. Here's another formula. Creation must be greater than destruction. Ideas are creation. Overthinking is destruction. Imagine you want to travel with your partner. That's creation. But then you start thinking, too expensive, too tiring. What if we fight? And just like that, creation gets destroyed. When creation outweighs destruction, love grows. When destruction outweighs creation, even deep love withers. If needs are met, if possibilities are explored, if self-control is gained, then creation is built, the love grows. What if it doesn't work out? The key is, you can still grow. A love without an ending can still teach you how to stay calm, how not to drown in emotions, how to transform the ending into love itself. In the end, the question is no longer, what should I do? It becomes, what have I learned?